Keep up, I do. Okay, let's dive into it.
Wow, you did that puzzle so quickly? You could enter the Entropy Center speed run to
Like, did it just bip up a dip?
Lying, Astra.
Like, did you hear that? It literally made the sound that I just made.
Wow, you
It literally be like the bip a dip. Like, or barely. Angel getting into the game right before GTA 6. Well, I'm just noticing, I guess, but does it do that every time? Like, was it doing it on every puzzle? Hello, everyone. Oh, one moment. You're about to hear another boop boop doop. He said low key caught you off guard because I usually talk with everyone, yeah. It caught me off guard too.
Wow, you did that puzzle so quickly? You could enter the Entropy Center speed run to site.
I can tell when you're lying, Astra. But thanks for the encouragement.
Praise automation has been reduced by 40%.
I have no idea what she just said. What just happened back there with the blaster? Like, what would you even call that? I mean, yeah. The accelerator rifle from Helldivers 2. Everything is Helldivers. If I fall from this height, I'm diving down to hell. Intrusive thoughts, more thought. Well, one term that came to mind was stabbing, but I don't know, honestly. It started intriguing me because it looked like it was bouncing at first. At first I was noticing, but I'll just show you. At first, not that it's important, but you know, game design, whatever. First I noticed that, you know, there's sparks and stuff, but when you shoot it at the GD, it's like nothing. But then there's a little bit when you hit the wall, so that's probably happening. But notice it's containing it. Sparks. No sparks. But you can see, and you can hear, and if you do it near the edge, you can see a little bit of it. But it's like containing it. And I don't know, that was interesting to me. And then I started looking up here, and it looked like maybe it was bouncing. I thought that might be a part of the puzzle. Like the puzzle system. But then I realized it wasn't bouncing. And then, you know, the rest was whatever happened. And by the way, I went to VR and tested out the avatar and created 5 new notes. So basically, 5 new notes for the Avatar project. As I got into the VR, there were a few things that did not function quite the same as they did in Unity, or they actually were things that I noticed in Unity, but didn't really know how it would pan out into VR. And so some of the things that I noticed that I identified as potential problems actually did manifest as a problem. So I'll need to do some adjustments to colliders. I need to adjust some shader stuff because the glow and hair color wheel and all of that stuff is not working properly. And so I have some ideas of how I might fix it. It's just a matter of finding it out. Isn't that cute? You can see the overlap between the two pieces. Most players would never really care or notice something like that. But it makes sense and it gets the job done. Up there it's not as important. The top intersection. But right here it's a tricky one. Because unless you custom make it, if you do it the way they're clipping, you'll see a weird triangle gap. And so they push it together. And it results in that. So, you know, there's always like little things, and maybe this is a good lesson. Maybe even a reminder for myself. But sometimes, you know, it's easy to focus on these little things when you're focused on details and whatnot, but sometimes you have to remind yourself that it's part of this, part of something bigger, and if you nitpick all the way down, sometimes you won't be able to achieve all of this, because you'll still be stuck on this. Yeah, they only fix one thing only to have 5 other things that need work. So, I am looking forward to the point in which that is not the case. Okay, let's see this puzzle. So, this unlocks that door. So it's the final point it needs to be. If it's the final point, that means it's the start of our time puzzle. This resets the cube. And it turns off the electricity more than likely. So, start and end, and start. Next question is, where to place that? So I may have to actually stand on it at some point and let it pass through here. You have point 1, 2, and 3. Now let's just execute it. Interesting. In order for this to work, I have to actually be on the pad myself, which is going to be very peculiar. And I doubt there's any other objects that can be picked up. This is a good one. I like it. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's try out some things. Experiment a little bit. And I doubt that I can drop down from here. Oh my. Okay, now I know what to do with that. Okay, now that I know that was possible. Not that that's probably the solution, but now that I know that's possible. That means that then we can do point one. Okay, big head nod. You're focused, right? I'm just gonna cover the gun. Oh well. I'd rather be closer. Narpath. Okay, yeah, rock then, here we go. After I... This game is interesting. Portal and other games. A lot of visualizing and, puzzle solving stuff. But this game has a unique thing where you're truly planning. Like, a lot of these puzzles involve a limitation. You have 30 seconds of memory for, action. And then you can rewind it, stop it, reset it. You're doing a lot of thinking ahead, cause, visualizing. Okay. More than likely, a sort of gimmick play like that wouldn't be the solution. Oh my goodness, it's a trail. It's a trail of time. If that's the final point. Interesting. Because in that previous puzzle, where I caught the item midair. Interesting. Oh, you do. The game is fun. And life do be lifing. Oh, totally. Okay. So that's point one. And you can't see it, but the gun says 7.3 seconds. You can work with 30 seconds of time. You can go over that, but I assume it just starts eating away at any time past 30. From the opposite direction. Yeah, the order of operations and the time actually is kind of nice because it forces you to think in a more precise way than just throwing things around and seeing what happens. Interesting. Interesting. I suppose I could always maximize it. Literally have it start already on the pad. I'm glad that you feel a little happier when you're able to watch. There will be videos. I know I've been saying it for a very long time. However, I went down to what seems to be my last 5 notes. And the test that I did, though, overall, worked out quite nice. There were some tracking issues a little bit, and I could always try to rethink everything and whatnot. Also, the Tibby outfit, I'll do the best I can with it, but there are aspects of it that I cannot help. It was delivered in a rather unfinished state from the original artist, which is no problem. It was agreed upon. My craft up, so my goodness gracious. I'm not even almost like paying attention to it. It's crazy. Eh. Oh, interesting. Near Automata. At some point, you could just buy it and try it out. You might actually really like it. Maybe you're going to be, well, yeah. Oh, temporal. Okay. Wait. Yeah, it's time to start carrying things out. Go with the flow. This part, though, this is where I would need it, because at this point it'll go up, it'll unlock that, but I won't be able to get across without it, which implies that it needs to come here at some point before returning there. Oh yeah. But oh my goodness, Black Orb, that's kind of funny about needing it. Thank you for reminding. Okay. So it's possible that it needs to start up here or down here. The one two, three, but then if you reverse it, it would go to the point and back around. So eventually this point. But if I reverse it while I'm over here, oh, I see, it would have to, interesting. It be that it could be up there twice. This is gonna be a really tough one. That's also part of why I wanted to stream this game again, because I kind of figured that I was gonna hit puzzles that would be pretty time consuming, pretty challenging. So I was looking forward to that and thought just a nice feel like calm time would be nice. Very focused. And congrats, Papa, on 6 months. And thank you for the kind words. Okay, let's see. Really a great challenge. Yeah, tilt the head more. Acne. Patience is nice. I think they say patience is a virtue. Interesting. I think I threw off the initial motion, but it's kind of interesting actually. But getting it, they make a bridge and then go back there. It's gonna be quite interesting. I think I'm starting to believe. The music, but I put the reversal sound? I'm not sure. Okay. I have to make sure I maintain the click, or else it seems like when it goes out of line of sight, it stops it. So I have to trust the process. Oh my goodness, this might actually work. Oh my, that was so satisfying.
Does this guy say anything else?
Wow.
Time death is when the health of the center is threatened, which could result in becoming non-operational and non-repairable. Then there would be no way to rewind time, and Earth would be lost forever.
How do we stop it?
We head as fast as we can to the power reactor. We can't enable the Entropy device until that is repaired. We're getting close.
This reminds me of Mirror's Edge a little bit. The sounds are nice. Wow. Legacy, like the vibes. I feel like it's important to see that timer. Wow, it's been a while since I've been over here with that. I hope it's not too awkward for you. Mirror's Edge Cyberpunk, Battle's Principle, Legacy, Battlefield 6, Destiny 2, Mass Effect. I am kind of glad there's no enemies that I directly am fighting currently. That is kind of nice. RuneScape, oh my goodness. Every game, yeah, literally. Entropy, but MK2. Cleans, sleeps, smiles. 30 smiles again. Wow. They're literally like angels, what the heck? Except they don't really smile. Those tear-shaped friend, yeah. I look into the light. Okay, I literally looked near the grate earlier and saw that area down there. I was trying to see if there was a way to get down there, because it was such like a interesting thing to notice. Yeah, as long as I can definitely see them for sure, especially these areas, like all the concrete and the gun and all that. Okay, you see what you want to see? If you rewind the clip just a little bit before I exit the tunnel, those orange pipes look like Gordon Freeman's suit for the housewife. I have to write that down. The timestamp. Okay, I guess this is the boss battle. You know.
Reach the top of the silo via stairwell.
The music, yeah, really nice. Exactly, this suit, yeah, before you pick it up, that's really funny. It's funny when I can just read what you all are saying while playing, because it's that kind of vibe. Metal Gear Solid 1, yeah. That was pretty fun. That was pretty epic. Oh, very convenient little pad.
That was close.
Well done, and thank you for not getting me wet, Arya.
Don't mention it.
I gotta go get this track. I reset it. Yeah, back playing the game controlled. I wonder if eventually I'll be able to unlock those doors. Complete Act 6. Interesting. Yeah, posters and whatnot. In the offices and aesthetic. Surprisingly, no copyright strike yet for this game. That is good.
Detecting breach in puzzle area 0701. Recommendation: leave puzzle area to find quicker route to the power reactor. We have been directed off course slightly.
Oh, breaking the rules? You're sure you're okay with that, Astra?
Yes, it is okay, given the circumstances.
Oh my goodness. We saw the one, right? He with the post-it on the head. Yada yada yada. That is super true, Japanese criminal. It's honestly pretty wild. It even has a little Star Wars Survivor. Oh, the puzzles for Cliff section. Yay. You know what? Maybe puzzles for Cliff is represented. No, not really. Okay. What do we have going on here? There we go again with the beach theme, just like Carlos Principle in the dome. Hello, witness. Back at the beach, yeah. And I'm pretty sure right now Koseki Beach is streaming at the beach. Wow. There's an instant death. Hopefully I don't have to collect this again.
Detecting breach in puzzle area 0701. Recommendation: leave puzzle area
That looks like I did.
route to the power reactor.
Oh well.
We have been directed off course slightly.
Oh, breaking the rules? You're
What
sure
about Titan?
you're okay with that, Astra?
Yes, it is okay, given the circumstances.
Okay, so the water is bad for me. I wonder what that watermark is on the table. I wonder if that's like an asset watermark from like a textures website or something. That's so interesting. Or is it supposed to be the brand of the table? Okay, the water looks gorgeous. Very nice. Oh my goodness, you can sit. Okay. I got an achievement. Oh my. What the heck? That was really sweet. Only that one though. Interesting. Oh look, there's volleyball. I feel like that's actually an accident or something. Wait, now I'm really curious why does it say that? I have to look up to see if that's something. Interesting, I don't know. Enjoy bird, enjoy eating. Yeah, I guess they gave a cheers to the gun because the gun has an AI like personality in it. Oh wait, there's the volleyball. No way. No way. Do you see that? There's a volleyball texture on the surfboard. Are you serious? Am I seeing volleyball? Like, there's like a puzzle going on here. There is like a puzzle. Why is that text? And then the surfboard literally has a volleyball texture. And when I just looked up volleyball textures, literally that's what I was seeing online. That's so interesting. If they're ever at a convention, although, oh wait, volleyball. B, B. For some reason that name is being applied to other objects and even its texture. Volleyball is the meaning of life. The ball is life.
The end of the world.
Yeah, it won't let me pick it up. I don't have a gravity gun. Hello? Oh, here we go. Little mumbo jumbo. And there's ice cream next to it. Deja vu. Very interesting. Thank you for that. Thank you for that information. I probably need to put it between those gaps, yeah. I was started from over here. Okay. Enjoy the death water for a little bit. I'll just stand right here next to the death water. I have to think about the death water. But quiet, be right back. Spain is sort of making a moment. Okay. Back to it. Yeah. The beach video was nice. Okay. Let's see if this works. It also reminds me of an area in Elden Ring with all of the water and like the houses that are like underwater or like floated or something. Oh my. I just have to hit it the right way. The right way, you know, find the sweet spot. or just get better with my technique. Oh my goodness gracious. I went a little overboard on that one. I'm getting better though. I've played enough Final Fantasy 14. Gold Saucer, Leap of Faith. I should be able to do this. What the? Oh my, because I didn't. Okay, so Q drops it. Okay. Now I know that definitively, and now I know how that mechanic works. Hello, Rick. Doing well, and you sleep well. Enjoying another puzzle game. Oh my. Okay, we're cooking. Yay. Okay, this kind of reminds me of Crisis. Crisis? Anyone?
I'm not seeing any way to get across. Any ideas?
Not yet. I will scan for nearby rewindable objects.
Oh, hi, E.
It
Nice.
looks like I actually maybe could. Oh, never mind. Like a comedic timing on the line delivery.
To get across. Any ideas?
Not yet. I will scan for nearby rewindable objects.
You said never could run Crisis. Wait, are you actually joking?
Have you met before?
Yeah, we bumped into each other just after I woke up.
He seems friendly. I think he wants to help, and that we should stand back.
Okay, sure. Well,
New room.
almost got me. Oh, cute. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Oh my. Oh my, I gotta achieve this as man's best friend, Pet Neat. Okay, so like, how many of you know about the fact that in video games, there's like a thing, there's like a list, people keep track of edible animals in games. And there are people who literally keep track. Yeah, can you pet the dog? Exactly, where it's like, games go out of their way to add like an animal that you can pet, even for one moment. Even if it doesn't seem relevant to the story or like that important. Just adding that little detail, it's like a game industry thing. I'm not really sure entirely why, but maybe it has something to do with the idea of like an immersive game. Like even the concept of being able to pet something, interact with something in the game, is kind of like okay, I'm not trying to go off on a big tangent. It's just how my programming is, I guess, but basically so if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, right? I've never seen that movie, but I've heard that line. And if you can pet Okay, let me rephrase this. If you can interact with an NPC, then you can have interactive sex with the NPC. Just a matter of like artistic depiction and imagination, audio, visual, whatever. But I use it as like a funny or extreme example, but at the same time, it's very important because the Mass Effect side is showing well. Because well, one moment, I'll tell you in a second. Without energy drinks or coffee, if I fully knew, I would let you know. But coffee is definitely on the list. But honestly though, even when there isn't coffee, hard to think of those days, but and not so much for me, but coffee I make for my owner. Yeah, that though, one could definitely say, water, sunlight. Sunlight is a big one, and I feel like I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say that you might get a decent amount of sun if you travel during the day, like to work, but beyond that, that's probably about it, And so it's probably a pretty good amount of sun. But then again, you're wearing a bunch of gear, usually, probably, maybe. That kind of blocks the sun. Even. Wait, Bravo. Are you saying something like serious or are you joking or something? Yeah, you understand. I mean, people would say like your diet has a big part of it. Okay, like all the funniness aside, and of course seek out, professional, whatever, if you want, blah, 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 license, beep boop. But you are what you eat. You are what you eat. If you're just eating Cheetos, you're gonna become a Cheeto. If you're just eating like fast food, processed, whatever, blah blah blah, whether you like it or not, you're going to like turn into that food. Even if it's saving you time, even if you think the flavors, buttery and yummy and creamy and warm and thick and meaty and all of that. All those things aside, you are what you eat. And actually, they could go for, yeah, it could go for a lot of things. Prepping your meals, like food prep, that is like S tier food management kind of vibe. No, that's like, I would say that's on the advanced level. You really have to be able to maintain it. Makes you want to go hunting. Well, we're ready to play the hunting game. I installed it recently. But yeah, your food. So, I don't know if you're still the same bird, but I'm for a sponsorship for HelloFresh. I don't mean anything right by this, but HelloFresh is kind of like, I'm sorry, but You're way better off just buying the ingredients yourself, or even buying stuff that's kind of prepackaged than something like HelloFresh. Like, you know, when something's too good to be true. Let me throw this out here. Let me throw this out here, just for a moment. Take a car, for example. Take a car. Yeah, TV dinners, literally the same thing. Take a car for a moment. If you have a car that has a lot of dents and scratches in it, it's faded, it's worn out, and you pretty much just say it's a beat up car. But it gets you where you need to go. You want to take the time to hand wash it, get the brushes out, the soap, the water, the bikini, all that. Like, do you want to take the time to do all that? Or are you just gonna go ahead and spend just a little bit and take it to the little guys to wash thing? Just get it washed, or better yet, you just don't wash it at all because it's beat up and you don't care about it. It's just a play to play B. You make sure that it's mechanically running and updated from time to time, but beyond that, the aesthetic, you just don't care. You don't even wash it. So now associate instead of a car with a human, the human body, let's just say. If you see yourself, or have allowed yourself, or have become, as you would say, a beer car, like it's a beat up, this aesthetically unhealthy, basically. If your insides are running really good, everything is kept up to date, like a car, then the aesthetic is, you know, it is what it is. You could still be turning and burning, you could still be building, you could still be working on things, being creative. It really doesn't fully matter necessarily for those things that you have some extremely nice exterior, if that makes sense. But now imagine you have a super nice car that's like, and I don't know if it's following me, anyone, but there's a point to this. And this all goes back to you are what you eat, or what Bird was asking, like basically without coffee, without essentially like a drug, which coffee is a form of a drug. How do you get more energy? And so if you associate you are what you eat, low energy foods are gonna make you feel low. Some might say high vibration, all that kind of stuff. And I'm glad it's making sense. So, but here's the thing, there's like multiple ways to see this. If you have the beater car and it gets you where you need to go, you may not be as inclined to give it that hand wash experience. Maybe a quick one, maybe if you're into that, you know, you just throw some soap on it. But again, that implies that you care enough to do that. Or some. They just don't care about the car at all. They only deal with it if it breaks down. For others, they could have the beer car and take care of it and give it a little bit of time, like a little bit of love, and they cherish it. It's important to them. They don't go like necessarily crazy with it unless they're just really enthusiastic about it, but they take care of it decently, as they take care of themselves decently. Now, if it turns out to be like a really, really nice car, like an exotic car, some sort of, super high end, let's just say, I mean, there's a lot of really nice cars at higher end prices, but realistically, when you get a car that's at a lower end price range, if you take care of it, I don't want to go off on like too many tangents. The whole point though is you are what you eat. So your car is either a beater you don't care about and you don't really take care of it, and that's probably how you treat yourself. The car, it's like, it's okay, it's not like bad. It's where you need to go. And you take care of it a little bit. And you keep it up to date a little bit. You do things to maintain it. You probably do it with yourself too. Now, you have a car that was like very high end. You probably treat yourself a little high end, which is of course debatable, not necessarily fully diet based, because you'd be surprised at how much it is not so much always the diet, but of the mind too. So it's like you could eat really healthy, but have a poor mindset. Like you could say a fast food mindset. And then you could eat all fast food but have a great mindset. And sometimes they like kind of offset each other in different ways. But there are still things that they come back around. They do compound. Now, for example, you could be like totally motivated, make a multi-million-dollar company, and every single day you are just like Starbucks, 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 McDonald's, McDonald's, Starbucks, Starbucks. If you never did anything about that aspect, and you were just really focused on like creating something, eventually it's gonna catch up to you. And yeah, maybe you have money, you can deal with stuff, you can, pay for the surgery to deal with some complication of the food and basically the eating habits, So like for example, what if Bird doesn't eat crazy? They eat pretty moderately, he said. However, maybe that number's like 20%. If you eat, I'll say what he said, if you eat shit, you're going to feel like shit all day. That is pretty true. Yeah, but, I guess I did bring up like a few different topics in one. Like, how you treat yourself, but all of this ties into having more energy in your day. It's not to say you won't get tired or you won't wish you could lay down and relax on the beach like this. Hello, hi Stan. Welcome to a place that isn't Twitch, but we wish that it was a little bit like Twitch, but not too much like Twitch. Oh my goodness, Rolo, that's pretty wild, and honestly, like, there are people that definitely have that mindset for real. Okay, like, do we want to use a cultural example and sort of like, let's just bring up Japan as a really good example. For a lot of the Asian countries, especially China, Korea, Japan. If you look at their general body structure, on average, it tends to be on the more lean side. Some might say healthier side. Certainly more slender. And you look at the food that is typically eaten, it would be considered much cleaner, more simple, almost boring in some ways. But that's not the case when you have the very, quote unquote, like westernized style diet. Then suddenly, individuals in those various countries such as Korea, like South Korea, Japan, China, they start to look in some ways similar to like America or the United States, because they're eating a lot more processed foods and they're eating a similar diet. Heck, they're eating Starbucks and McDonald's. So, but then you look at, okay, not just aesthetic, not just like health, but what about mental health? What about societal? Like, how close does it correlate with what they're eating kind of vibe? Well, you know that a lot of Japanese companies tend to work individuals very, very excessive amounts of time. Not all, but you hear about it for sure. And isn't it amazing that they have the energy? It's like, maybe it's the coffee. Maybe it's smoking. Maybe it's all the walking that they do in the cities, like the large cities and whatnot. There's a lot of things you could say, like, how do they have the energy? Or are they just dead tired all the time and they're doing like 30% quality work? But because they're showing up, who knows? Merrick, it's interesting you bring up the Super Size Me thing, as I have not fully watched that documentary. However, one important thing that is a little unfortunate in those kind of, it devalues the documentary a little bit, even if the message was to be good. Little side note, the individual who did the Super Size Me documentary was a really big alcoholic, and the sickness and things like that they developed actually appears after years later, things talking about it, that he was actually making himself sick. It was an extreme, alcoholic addiction. And I know it kind of, I'm not trying to take away from, I think what we all know when it comes to fast food, but he actually was, there's a part that people realize, later on. There's a part, supposedly, where he meets a doctor, and the doctor is, very surprised by, why he is so, really sick, super sick, where, it is kind of strange. It was a really long up with the excessive burger eating. And so the documentary, paints this, kind of over the top narrative that was really just kind of hiding his excessive drinking. So it's kind of, it taints it a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of things that do go back to food, but in addition to food, there is the mind as well. After all, it is a part, like the brain and all the neurons and all that is a part of your body. So if you're taking care of other aspects, you have to make sure you're taking care of that aspect too. So your gut health, your microbiome that lives in your stomach. There's a lot to it. And of course you'll really not get taught this stuff. It's things you have to seek out because, realistically, if you knew a lot of the rules to the game, so to speak, you'd be dangerous. You'd be a bit of a threat. A bit of a threat. It's unfortunate that it is kind of that way. Yeah, another documentary that I would, encourage many to watch is very just kind of, even if you take away the narrative of it and you just watched it for raw reality, there's a documentary called Earthlings. Earthlings. Like Earthlings. I'll just type it in the chat. Again, you have to find this like online. It's not something you can just watch from most reputable sources. But if you don't care about that there's an actor or narrator, if you don't care about the narrator being Joaquin Phoenix, if you don't care about all that, you don't immediately see it as oh, it represents this political stance or that or the other. It's purely, if you watch it from an awareness, mean perspective, it can really open your understanding about a variety of topics that sort of involve what makes this world operate. Yeah, competitive eating. That is something.
It looks like people used to have fun here.
Well, mukbang is a little different, but I know what you mean. Yeah, where someone eats and you watch, and it's kind of like a group eating experience. Or where they eat a bunch of food. I don't know if that's still really popular, but it certainly was at one point. Okay, so I've worked with Young Religion before, an early version, and I can literally feel the hand drag you across the flat plane because they have a really great terrain, a way to kind of help you build terrain or geometry, raised geometry. You can make it smaller or bigger, and basically you apply a texture. In this case, this is the ground cover texture. As you can see, it's completely flat. It's like a picture that has been merged around the edges to create a pretty seamless tile set. Just initial glance broken up by small bits of foliage that are objects placed. Yeah, basically you can just drag your mouse around at a certain strength and radius, and then boom, you're starting to form geometry. And then they have a nice little, basically like an airbrush where you can airbrush on the texture. And it has like a little bit of a fade going on. But yeah, you can like generate it just by like clicking around on a plane. And then over here you can see where they paint the next texture. I really love this stuff, honestly. Environment design. And if you really look at the water, you can technically see the tiling of the water, but it's overall it's done pretty well. The lighting is where Unreal Engine shines really heavy. Okay, but I wasn't meaning it like the pun, but that's pretty funny. Also, these rocks, if I'm not mistaken, these rocks are part of the Unreal Engine rocks. I could be wrong, but they look suspiciously like the default rocks that they give you when you use Unreal Engine. And you can take the few rocks and scale them small, scale them big, rotate them. And it's a way to kind of create boundaries or mountains. Yeah, I jumped in the water earlier and it kills you. Halo Combat Evolved grass areas, honestly, it's probably not that far off from how those were. Because game design, once you learn it like a little bit, like environment design and such, it's kind of similar concepts across the board with different game engines. Wow, Japanese girl, that's pretty funny. That would be so funny if I could jump up there and it's like a speed run. Probably not then. Okay, someone did their job. It's either your masterful Japanese scriven or huge plus to how accessible and easy to use Unreal Engine is. Like, truly it is impressive what you can actually make with it with minimal knowledge in a short amount of time. And obviously more advanced stuff, it would be more advanced obviously. But there's a lot you can achieve before it gets super advanced. At least in my opinion. Okay, let's see. Congrats on getting a card. It doesn't even say. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Thank you for the gift. The goat trophy. Thank you, Section 9 Wolf. Beep boop. Beep 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 boop. Beep 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 boop. Here.
Behold! The Entropy Museum.
This place has a museum?
Yes! Here, staff members can reflect upon the deep history of the center and its successful rewinds of the Earth.
I like the computer setup. That's pretty cool. Oh my goodness. Wow, they'll bring a second keyboard. That's so funny. Laurel rewinds. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've done it like a bunch. LAN parties. Interesting. Yeah, they're gonna have a nice LAN party out here. I like the reflection. Pretty good.
I detect insufficient funds in your Entropy wallet. We have to find another way.
Look, we can just jump over. No one's here.
Okay, I will allow it. Just this once. But let's not...
Wow.
I don't think there's anyone left alive to tell Astra.
Welcome.
Never know, those robots could be around.
Please browse at your own pleasure. You are in the Cataclysm Hall.
You one up there. Like getting a workable bed in Unreal is like literally just a tutorial away. Like you can, with YouTube alone, you can do so much. So much. You just have to spend time trying. It's that simple. Because it's like the time that you spend watching clips and shorts and entertainment and this and that. That's the exact same amount of time that you could have been sitting there feeling like your brain is rotting. But before you know it, you've watched and gone through an hour-long Blender tutorial. Step 1. Blender tutorial. Step 2. A week goes by. A month goes by. Months go by. A year goes by. 5 years go by. 10 years go by. I'm pretty sure after 10 years of tutorials and working on Blender, you'd probably be making money from Blender. Like through commissions or your own projects, or you'd be more advanced compared to when you're just sitting there, you know, thinking about wanting to do it. But of course, like many years later, they'll have all these different reasons why they didn't. All the justifiable. At least for them. And it won't change the fact that they just didn't. Like how much money, how many fortunes do people spend on food they don't really need, they just want. But you don't really know. There's not like a scoreboard. It's just whatever you have to show, and even then, accidents happen and such. So, yeah, it's interesting. Minecraft hopping, yay.
In the year 2010, the Entropy Center was responsible for saving the tiger from extinction.
It's reading. Fan art. Interesting. Did you draw your icon? Maybe, possibly, maybe not.
In the year 2010, the Entropy Center was responsible for saving the tiger from extinction. The Entropy Center was instrumental in saving a panda from extinction in 1998.
Has anyone ever gone out and seen one of these pandas, like, in the wild?
In the year 2001, the Entropy Center successfully reduced global temperatures worldwide.
Yeah, the ruined environment look is pretty lively. The bots are not sentient. I repeat, the bots are not sentient. It's like Tao's principle, there's like a museum. You could also, if needed, you could also email the artwork to me. I don't chit chat your email, like unless that's related to the artwork or something. But it is a way to send, if need be, their artwork, not just for anything.
The great 2012 world-ending asteroid was rewound by the Entropy
But Discord honestly is like the best.
Station to develop preventative measures in time for its arrival.
I know owned the local zoos for you and pandas. And pandas are interesting. They're a very interesting topic. I'm curious. I might do some research. Like, I'm really curious about, like, people living in China, what their thoughts are on pandas. An interesting topic. Oh, Viper.
The Entropy Center has stopped over 10,000 comets from striking Earth. The Entropy Center has stopped. The Entropy Center is monumental in preventing many localized natural disasters. By rewinding Earth after an event has occurred, the affected cities are then notified and promptly evacuated.
Interesting.
What's this one?
Cataclysmic event. Name.
Wait,
Origin.
the current one. What's happening now?
Cataclysm happened April 9999.
what sort of
Did
What?
they ever fix this?
collider am I stuck on? What the heck is right here?
Come on, let's go.
Interesting. I wonder if there are more cubes coming. Vertical. What would I want to see? It's simple. Rocks. Obviously, though, if there was like a more temporary museum of like anime and things like that, of course that would be really cool. Or like video games would be interesting. I would really like to go to a convention. I know it's kind of whatever, but it would be really fun to attend a convention. Like one of those big anime ones, or game. Perhaps the anime, like the geologist one, I have not. Wait, I wonder if this is related to like the double slit theory. But that's like triple, so I don't know. Yeah. But Seki, no. Oh, okay. So there's two different rock ones. You know, it's not worth it. Never mind. Like fossils. Fossils are really interesting. But even more interesting than like just normal fossils are dinosaur bones. That is a very interesting topic. And it's fascinating. Like dinosaur bones being in the presence of a dinosaur skeleton. It should be something that's like insane and just like changes your life. And yet, if you've ever observed large museums or been to one where like a Smithsonian kind of vibe, where you have like huge mega dinosaurs. Like their skeletons, and they're like presented in a way that you could like touch them. Like these crazy one of a kind or like perfect specimens that have been constructed and on display, and they're there for just like even like a child to just like go out and touch, like a playground. And when you look around and you see people, they're not moved to tears. They're not standing in awe of like a literal beast, monster, like monster hunter sort of creature. It doesn't make them feel like, wow, this life is crazy. There's almost like nothing, like as if they just at like a theme park, like an amusement park or like a circus. They're like just ready to move on to the next thing, the next little box or venue of entertainment. And then by the time they're ready to leave and they go to the gift shop, they're just worried about what they're going to eat next.
Detecting Entropy worker bot in the vicinity.
Uh-oh, what was that? To smile.
Hey there.
Entropy bot looks lost and confused.
Well, that makes two of us.
Warning, vicinity.
A shark onesie would be really cute to see, as I have an emoji with the dino one that Charco drew, even Charco.
Astra, why does he look angry?
Directive, stop petting angry Entropy bot.
Okay, we actually do have combat now. Oh my, whoa. Okay, wow. Yeah, the new thumbnail art is pretty nice with the hoodie. Okay, literally it can shoot through the walls. Good to know. I wonder if I can rewind the object. Oh, that was literally an achievement. Oh my goodness, I can... Oh my... What the heck? So there actually is combat. I mean, I almost didn't think that was gonna happen in the game, but I had a slight suspicion earlier in the game. But I thought maybe not. The music's pretty good though. The fact that you can pick it up is kind of wild. It's kind of sick actually to be able to reverse it back. It's like reversing the bullet back into the gun. I can't believe there's actually combat though. Yeah, combat type puzzle. Maybe. Like I'm getting ready for Bloodborne. Oh my. Oh wow.
Entropy Center has 20,000.
Oh, that was a puzzle. That's a good point. That is a good point.
As many theories suggested, The moon was, in fact, a piece of Earth once, separated from it via an asteroid impact. When the Entropy Center founders tested their newfound entropy technology on a piece of the moon's crust, it transformed that piece of the moon into a breathtaking habitat for one.
That's an interesting idea.
By the space-resistant Entropy Dome, the Entropy Center was built on the very ground of its own successes and breakthroughs in technology.
Are you serious? Or literally, I didn't even think about it. We're in the museum and we're leaving it to the gift shop. I didn't even think about the fact that we entered the museum earlier. And the music too, what the heck? I want one. I want one. Oh my goodness gracious. Where are the rocks? I mean, there's a big rock right there. And there's all sorts of little rocks lying around. I kind of even, what are we gonna eat next? Apparently, time hoops. What the heck? Or we can find another place to eat, which right over here they have pizza. I'm honestly... No, I hate to say it, but, probably a good possibility that the creators of this game have similar lines of thought as to what I was just talking about. But that's honestly crazy. Wait, what? Oh my, I just got another achievement.
Why, thank you.
Oh my. Wearing glasses now. Oh, they can. Oh, wait. You can change it to a hat or the glasses. Oh my. I kinda like the glasses. Yeah, that is interesting, Shock, about taking the time to listen to each of the little panels. I literally just experienced the museum. That's good game design, I guess. Wow. Wait, I just got another achievement. Leave the Entropy Museum with the walls repaired. But I guess because I put together the walls before I left. I wasn't even trying. Well, dinosaurs are an interesting market. Like, as a business, dinosaurs are, not every museum is going to have access to that kind of that style of product to put in their museum. And, remember, like, museum, muse, the amused. The more you look up these terms and meanings, and the weirder things get a little bit. That's the percentage? Oh, I didn't see. Yeah, but I'm not sure.
New puzzle element introduction. Rivers. Place entropy cube in river for it to travel downstream. Note, do not place self in river unless intention is to drown.
They're definitely going for that, like, last vibe a little bit. But it's, it's nice. It's a little way. Oh, it's so nice, though. Oh. Oh my. That's a little slippery.
New puzzle element introduction. Rivers. Place entropy cube in river for it to travel downstream. Note, do not place self in river unless intention is to drown.
That's one of the beautiful sound. You know exactly. I turned down the music, but I can hear it better. The sound. Definitely one of my favorite aspects of game design, and specifically with Unreal. Making and placing sounds is so wonderful. So this, I've explained this a little bit before. Sound is basically an orb, a circle, made up of an inner circle and an outer circle. The inner circle is like the direct sound where the sound is literally like the same volume anywhere you are within the inner circle. The outer circle is the fall-off circle, the fall-off range. It's an invisible thing. So where the waterfall is, that area, there's a circle. It's like a collider in a way. There's an invisible circle in the Unreal Engine. And it has the sound. It's like a trigger. And so you have the inner circle where the volume is like the same no matter what. Like, yes, it's directional, but volume-wise, it's kind of like the same. And then there's the fall-off range, which is the outer circle. You'll hear it. Okay, the fall circle is ridiculously big. In fact, it almost seems like they don't even have a fall circle. I'm actually really surprised. Maybe the fall circle is for the low trickle sound, but the main waterfall sound. Yeah, see how the trickle sound is its own? But the waterfall, they want you to really hear it. They want you... A little bit of fall off over here, it sounds like. But generally... It's fun to hear me pick games apart like this. It's fun to have the opportunity to pick games apart, but like in a fun way. So yeah, so this waterfall sound is, its inner circle is enormous because they really want you to hear it. It's prominent. I wouldn't personally do it like that, but I can understand why they would, and maybe it's fine the way they do it because it's like pushing you to be very aware of the waterfall, of the trickle sound. You should be able to hear it through your... You should be able to realistically, well, I don't just be realistic. I'm just saying, if I were to do the sound in this area, over here, again, the game would probably never be produced if I was doing all these decisions. Like, you know, bending a little bit. Oh, that's interesting in Japanese Finland, a sphere of light, that's statue. So, my boss side, I mean, you know, there are bossy angels, for sure. Especially if that's something you're interested in. Okay, so... You hear the trickle sound? That's like its own sound. Very prominent over here. You hear that? Oh, I know what you mean, dude. It's funny too. Okay, so the trickle sound. No, please correct me if I'm wrong. Does it sound more prominent when it's in your right ear than the left ear? Or is it the same for you? Well, when I say left or right, I mean like in the POV of the gun, like so this would be hearing the trickle from the player's left side. This would be hearing the trickle on the right side. It may honestly be like the same level. It may come down to individual hearing, which is pretty funny and pretty interesting. But yeah, no, what I was gonna say though was if they had the fall off in the main waterfall, you sort of hit, like really start hitting like around here, maybe. And it starts to kind of get much quieter, and then you have the trickling sound become a lot more generalized and prominent. Your ears of the circle would probably need to go like towards the middle of the trickle. Your circle needs to encapsulate this whole area. So inner circle, middle. Make it scale because I'm gonna be flying around. Inner circle encapsulate this area. Outer circle works its way out. Inner circle for waterfall over there. Make it a lower scale, probably bring the prominence, like the main circle, to like out here, and then fall off distance on your way over here. But so like right now, I should be hearing the trickling of this water really strongly. That's something that the game Subliminal did extremely well. Like, the sound design in that game was phenomenal. At least from what I heard. Oh my. Okay, let's do this puzzle. Interesting. Episode 2, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Interesting. That's if I wanted to go back. The heck was that? Oh. The creature around the corner. Yeah, more combat.
Welcome to the relaxing
Really wild.
wellbeing and spa area.
Oh, okay.
Please use this time to de-stress and relax from possible interruptions. Through these windows, please see the breathtaking and peaceful views of Earth. Now
Okay. Breathe in. And breathe out. That would be an interesting video, doing like breathing instructions. And doing like a kind of spa-based video. I just realized my little glasses are gone. Like I must have been when I fell in the water. No, don't let me see this. Don't let me see this asset looking through the wall. I'll wait for the other room. You know, it kind of makes you wonder if I notice all of these things and I have so much passion. It seems like for these things, what would a world look like if I made it, or if I was helping a team or something make an environment? Like, how would it turn out? Because I mean, this is beautiful, and this is not something I would personally conceive of, like at all. Like, this is incredible. So, you know, I guess I just need to be on the quality assurance, the Q, or whatever, quality control, QC, theme. I mean, people do make worlds in VR, and some of them are stunning, and some of them are just like, whatever. That reminds me, I need to visit Marauder's map. That would be fun to visit. I believe it's in the community labs for VR chat. Hello, Vampra. You would fit a nice possession? That's a good point. Let me write that down. Okay, now to figure this puzzle out. Oh, this is gonna be really wild. Okay, we had lovely. Okay. make sure there's not like another item. Probably not.
Welcome to the relaxing, well-being and spa area of the Entropy Center. Please use this time to de-stress and relax from puzzle questions. Through these windows, please, see the breathtaking and peaceful views of Earth. Knowing that,
very interesting. That area over there implies that it will need the jump pad placed onto it, but getting the jump pad over there is going to be an interesting thing to do. Oh my goodness. That's it. That is it. I know, it's figured out like the pattern. Michael Myers. I've never seen any of those movies. Reminds me of The Witness. Yeah, I can see that for sure. Let's see if this works. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, I think we're cooking. Beautiful. Alright, Steel. Big file, high span. Layers, and hydrate. Big file, there's air, more. Enjoy the freedom around. Wow, this is a nice little area.
I got sand in my shoe. I might just...
Please maintain appropriate footwear during all puzzle exercises.
Oh, okay. Not even some flip-flops?
No,
What if I do it anyway? What are you gonna do?
I will stare at you disapprovingly.
Okay, well that's not gonna... Okay. Appropriate footwear at all times. Got it.
Interesting topic. You see this little email? It's about watching your favorite shows. And we've been talking about some similar topics. I'm gonna read it out loud. Oh, Jake. You have to try this. So you know that feeling when you watch your favorite TV series and things just feel a bit empty after? And you just wish that you could watch it again for the first time? Well, the other day, apparently, I finished a really good show and I had the exact feeling. It was nearing my reset time anyway, as I had finished all the puzzles here. So I left a post-it note to myself explaining this. And now that I've reset, I'm literally watching it for the first time again. And oh my goodness, it feels so good. Knowing that this is going to be my favorite show all over again. Come over sometime after a shift and we can catch up. Cheers, Miles. Well, okay. I think that was a nice, sweet little stream and time together. We got some puzzles done before even hitting the water. Before hitting the water, yeah. I will continue pushing forward with those notes, not necessarily today, but that will be like a tomorrow thing. Those new notes for those who don't know. And thank you, David. Thank you for the cheese pizza. I like that's the color kind of vibe. Like the oil for like the cheese and whatnot. And butter or whatever. Olive oil. Yeah, something. But for those that don't know, the Avatar project, I went into VR and I did like an extensive test, and for the most part it was great. However, I did have to write 5 critical notes that need to be fixed. And they shouldn't be too bad. They're like puzzles. But they are really important, like related to colliders and shaders. And the fact that like the glow, I sort of broke the glow, but I think I know how to fix it. Okay. I'll see you soon.